Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the College Podcast. I'm your host, Hassan Mustafa, academic and career counselor at Heuser College. Whether you are researching your dream university or just trying to, sort of what life after A levels might look like, we have got you covered. This show is all about giving you honest, practical guidance as you step into the next big thing chapter of your academic journey. To help answer all of these questions and more, I'm very, very thrilled to join by two amazing guests today who are working in the top public university in the US, which is like University of Arizona. First, I would like to introduce Ms. Jasmin, who is Middle East Global Enrollment Counselor from Arizona International. Ms. Jasmin supports students from this region as they explore opportunities to study at top-tier research universities in the US. And she's joined by her guest today, Hamza Yasin, also from the University of Arizona International Admissions. So, Jasmine and Hamza, thank you both so much for being here. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much for inviting us. Looking
Yes.
forward to talk to your students.
Yeah. So, and we are very welcome to join by today our Dean and Director, Ms. Ruqayya Salman. She'll be with us in the today's podcast to answer some of the questions and ask you Q&A session also. All right. So, Ms. Jasmine, we'll first, start with the admission process. Basically, it's the primary question that every student has with any universities globally. All right. So can you walk us through what the admission process typically looks like, or international students applying to the US university, specifically University of Arizona? Is it done through the centralized platform or like directly through the institution portal?
That's a great question. So generally, students that want to apply to the University of Arizona, they can
Mhm.
apply directly on our website at internationaladmissions.arizona, or they can apply through Common App or Common Coalition. So it's entirely up to them, whatever their preference is.
All right. So, like, what are the key and the primary documents students should prepare early? Because I myself experienced that, like things like academic transcripts, English proficiency scores, for example, IELTS score, or SAT courses for specifically for the U.S. university, and the recommendation letters or personal statement or essays. Like, and what are the common mistakes does international students make during the process?
So generally, our application process is quite simple,
Mhm.
actually. We need 3 years of high school transcripts.
Mhm.
Typically, we want their 10th, 11th, and 12th grade transcripts, and
Mhm.
we need proof of English proficiency,
All
either
right.
with an English language test or academics. So in some cases, we can accept A levels if they've been
Mhm.
doing it, A levels and IG O levels.
Yeah.
However, if they're applying to our business programs, that will not work, and they will need an IELTS or a TOEFL
Yeah.
test, the
Yeah.
required
So,
score.
and yes, Mr. Hamza, would you like to add something to this question?
Hello, firstly, I'm the regional advisor for University of Arizona, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. And as Jasmine said, that students might get an exemption of English over the basis of O levels and A levels, and also on the basis of SATs. If they have 550 or above in the English, they wouldn't be required
Hmm.
to give an English exam. And an MOIs are accepted as well if they're coming from an A level or intermediate background depending upon the program. So for business, law, architecture, and nursing, we do not accept
Yes.
MOIs or O-level English, but SATs, yes,
Yes,
we do.
definitely. So you both mentioned the academic background is a very, very key to the admission process. So I have a more question with you, like how important a high school subject choice is, since you both of you mentioned that, A level or O level background when applying to US universities. For example, if I ask you that some students who are interested in engineering, business, medical, law, media, are there any specific A level subjects, should they think about that?
That's a great question. So again, speaking as if this is the next upcoming term. As
Hmm.
you know, university admissions change constantly. So as of right now, for engineering, we do need specific courses. We do need math and
Hmm.
we do need physics.
Yeah.
If they are missing any of those, they would not get it. Generally, we prefer to have three A-level courses. Obviously,
Hmm.
the more the better
Yeah.
because they count as college credits. So they
Yeah.
potentially could finish by
Hmm.
a whole semester if they have that
Yeah.
many. Otherwise, for the other like competitive programs, there isn't a course requirement, but obviously we would like higher grades. We would
Yeah.
expect A's and A stars. Um,
All
for
right.
admission to
So
those
I just want to ask,
programs.
for example, if there is a student who's not that academically strong, basically he doesn't have a grades matching with the A star A students. So what kind of academic advising or support is available for those still figuring out their path? They're confused with their academic grades and they're not able to, process their admission into the University of Arizona. So what kind of academic support is available at your university?
So you're saying that they don't have a B average, they have below a B
Yes,
average?
yes, definitely. So
Okay.
what's the next step for them if they're so much passionate about entering into this specific university?
So they have a few options. They have to go to an accredited college, so it has to be recognized
Yeah.
by us, and they have to do at least 12 college credits
All right.
and have at least a 2.5 GPA.
Mm.
Obviously, if it's a more competitive program, we would expect a 3 or 3.5.
Yeah.
Again, it just depends specifically. And again, it has to be accredited. I cannot say that enough. Sometimes it might be accredited in your country, but has to be accredited globally.
Yes, definitely. So, Mr. Hamza, like, do you have something? Your input is important.
So, as Jasmine said, that we do require grades, but as per now, the minimum requirement are C's, so student can get into direct university if they do have C's, and if they do have A's, then they
Mm.
can get a scholarship. So we do have multiple scholarships available. The
Mm.
very first one is Global Wildcat, and that completely depends upon the academics of student, which is approximately 20,000 USD per year,
Yes.
and it's a renewable scholarship, so student can get up to $80,000 over
Mm.
the course of their degree. So yeah, academic criteria does matter, but we do look into things, but primarily SATs are not mandatory as of
Mm.
now. But as Jasmine said, that there are things which are changing, so we can only comment about the fall 25 intake. We are not sure about the spring or following fall intake. So
Yes.
if those changes come around, we'll definitely keep you posted. And if students are interacting with the institution directly, they can always get in touch with me or Jasmine or any part of the team, and they would be able to help them directly as well.
Yes. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So now I have a questions about the international student experience. For example, if a students come from anywhere of the world, specifically Pakistan, what support system are in a place at University of Arizona to help international student adjust? For example, they are struggling with the English language. They're struggling with accommodation. They're struggling about the job placement, career guidance, like mental health services. So how does this university helps them, or are there any specific departments related to that?
So we don't have any specific departments for just Pakistani students. It's literally for all
Not just like
international
globally,
students.
anywhere, from anywhere of the world. I'm not just talking about Pakistan, just anywhere. For example, students coming from Nigeria or UK or Canada or Australia, anywhere. So what kind of support is, how does a student feel supported at your campus? No cultural
Yes.
difference.
Right. So let's say they've been admitted to the University of Arizona. If they are struggling with English, we do have an English language program, but it is separate from the university. So if they want to, they can apply for that separately. Regarding other resources, so all students have access to the Think Tank. So the Think Tank is a tutoring service free for all students, free in the sense that
That's
it's already kind
great.
of
That's a
included
great initiative. Yeah.
with their tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so these are students that have already taken these exact classes,
Mm.
and they get the chance to get help from them. So, like when I was at the University of Arizona, I would go to Think Tank for organic chemistry.
Yeah.
And they help you with your homework, they help you with the lectures, which is really great to have that
Okay,
one-on-one
great.
assistance.
So it's like the
Regarding
primary point for
careers,
students.
yes, exactly. Not only that, all of our professors offer office hours, so
Hmm.
they are required to have a time, slotted throughout the
Oh,
week
so
where
they
you
have
can
to book
actually
an
talk to the.
appointment basically.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
with the professor. Yeah.
All right.
So usually it actually has just drop-in advising. They say, hey,
Hmm.
from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm available from 2 to 5 or something. They'll
Hmm.
put it posted in the syllabus.
All right.
Regarding careers,
Hmm.
we do offer job fairs throughout the year, and each of the colleges also has their own career fairs as well.
All right.
For international students, we always advise them, please attend them, but there's nobody pushing them to go. It's just letting
Yeah,
you know we have that as a resource.
yeah.
Within the career services, they even will help with resume building. They can even prep you for interviews. In some cases, we have a relationship with some companies where they even do the real interview on our campus, which is really fascinating. So again, we have a whole department
Yeah,
that's just for that. And then another resource we recommend to students is International Student Services, so ISS.
yeah.
This will help students with any immigration questions. They also offer counseling
The
services if
visa
they
process
just
and everything.
they do help that. I mean, of as much as we can
Yeah,
in that sense.
yeah, yeah.
There's also for counseling, like if you just need that emotional support as well. So we do have a number of different resources, and that's just the tip of it.
Great, great, perfect. I'm really glad that your university offers this. So now the main segment, the another main segment after the admissions and student support services, the main question arises from the access, scholarships, and financial aid. What type of scholarships are available to international students at the university? For example, if I tell you that are they merit-based, or they need an ECA, which is extracurricular activities, or need or a mix of both. For example, if a student needs a financial aid, he is academically strong, but he's not that much financially strong to support himself or herself at the university. But he has a strong ECA too. So how does your university help students from different backgrounds?
So we do have multiple scholarships as of now. This year in fall, we have two particular scholarships for international students. One of them was a Wildcat, which I discussed earlier. It's a merit-based scholarship, completely depending upon your academics. Primarily, as Jasmine said, 9th, 10th, and 11th, or 11th, 10th, 11th, or 12th, depending upon the program you're opting for. If you're already done with your A levels, then your AS and O11 would be required. If you're not done with your A levels, then obviously O10, O11, and then AS level. Uh, and then there is SLA, which was a leadership scholarship, which was another up to $5,000 for students. And that was something which you discussed earlier. It was a mix of both. So students would need an academics as well. They would required to have show their ECAs. They can also have they would require to show a personal statement of 500 words. Comprising of the journey and why would they be the right person for that particular scholarship. So these are the two primarily scholarships. For financial aid or full ride or fully funded scholarships, to be really honest, we do not offer any opportunities for students now.
Yeah.
Again, that is something we're not sure of. It can be something which might come up, but as of now, there is no such scholarship available.
So yes, that depends on a case to case. As far as you said, that it depends. So for example, if student comes from a different case, another student from a different case, for example, I'm sure you must have received unique cases as well with your admissions team. All right. So, okay, now when it comes to the cost of living in Arizona, like what should students realistically expect for housing, their food, their transport, and everything related? Because I'm sure the students comes all alone so far to the US. So how does the University of Arizona support some of the accommodation and transport guidance and emergency services or health issues? Like, do you support with the medical aid at the campus as well?
So all students, we have an estimated cost for living on campus, which is around $17,000 a year.
Okay.
That's including, housing yourself, feeding
Okay.
yourself, kind of again, the general logistics on how to survive
The
for a
basic
year.
needs,
Um,
basically.
exactly. There's also an included health insurance, which is around 2,500 or so, which is for the whole year. So
Hmm.
students have access to health insurance while they're a student with us. And for example, let's just say, hypothetically, right now, if a student wants to live on campus, the range
Hmm.
in dorms is from 6,000
Oh,
cheapest, again, this is all shared,
yeah.
or up to $14,000 a year. Obviously, if you're looking at, having your own separate place on
Hmm.
campus, it's going to double that price. So
Yeah,
and
of
so
course.
when I say the 17,000, you can see it really truly ranges on where the student ends up living, how
Yeah.
much they eat, what other expenses
It's
they're going to
up to the
accumulate.
student's life, basically. How
Exactly.
does he or she prefers to live at the campus or off the campus, and what kind of food, what's the appetite of that student, maybe. All right.
Exactly.
So Hamza, like, do you have something to say regarding this question?
So yeah, so first of all, we do have an on-campus and off-campus housing option. So it's completely on the student if they're looking to live off-campus. That's their choice. If they want to, if they already have interacted with few students from Pakistan and they're planning to live it together, that's a possibility as well. It's not mandatory to book on-campus housing while studying at UFA, but usually students for the very first year do prefer living on campus. And obviously, you have an access to meal plan as well, which it's mandatory. And again, that ranges from $2,400 to $300 to up to $5,000, depending upon the student choice. As Jasmine mentioned, it can completely be if someone's looking to live on an affordable end, they can obviously opt for an affordable option.
Mhm.
And yeah, so 17,000 is an average,
Okay.
but we have seen students living at a lower cost as well if they're looking for an affordable option.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Now, I just want to take a moment for some, unseen and unfiltered advice. These are some of the questions that everyone knows and everyone expects you to answer. What's one honest, real world piece of advice you would give to students applying to study in the US? Something, beyond your website or beyond your brochure, anything. Like, what kind of advice you would like to give to the students applying to university?
I mean, that's really hard because we're pretty transparent. We like to give them all the
Yeah.
information. I would say try not to delay things. Try to apply early. That would be my
Yes,
best advice, just because you never know how the visa process is going to go. You never
exactly.
know about housing availability. I mean, housing I've heard throughout the world, not just the
Mhm.
US, is always very difficult to get. So that would be my biggest advice. And also, I think it's mandatory, not mandatory, but highly recommended that they join a few clubs
All
on
right.
campus because that's your way to kind of immerse yourself in the
To
community. So I
network
guess,
with people or to be connected with everyone else.
yes, because in my opinion, the whole point of coming to the US is, I mean, you could stay in Pakistan, go from your house to your school back and forth every
Yeah,
day. I don't want students to come to the US and do the same thing. Might as well just stay
exactly.
in Pakistan. No, you have to immerse yourself in the culture. Make sure you join
Definitely. That's
clubs. Make
that's
sure
very,
you go
very
to games.
important.
Yeah, so
That's very
that would be
important.
my advice.
Yes. So, Ms. Rukaya, do you have any more questions to ask from Jasmine or Hamza or both of them?
Yes, I do. So, hello, Hamza. Hello, Jasmine. My question is more about your colleges. Like, every university is more popular for, like either tech or sciences or medical, it could be business. What do you think stands out as University of Arizona's strength, in terms of their sub-colleges?
Oh gosh. I mean, we have a few. We have a few that are like top 30 in the world. I would say maybe
Okay.
biggest one is astronomy, astrophysics.
Okay,
Because
that's interesting.
yeah, we do have a mirror lab underneath our stadium. We have a telescope, I'm sorry, observatory telescopes. So that's been I would say, pretty good college and pretty strong for
Okay.
us. Hmm.
Okay, that's great. I just because obviously I'm sure you have a lot of majors, but every university has their strengths that way. And what like and in your experience, like what advice would you like to give to students who are doing their A levels in Pakistan right now? What does your timeline look like? When should they start applying? What's the right like if you could sum up your whole admission process, in like a minute or two and tell them about it.
I'm so sorry. It's going to be very redundant, but apply early. So we keep on
Okay.
getting information from our universities that deadlines
Okay.
are going to become even earlier.
Okay.
So May 1st is now becoming November 1st.
Okay.
So, and usually, so Hamza already mentioned our additional scholarship, the SLA
Yes.
Service and
Mm.
Leadership Award. That
Yes.
deadline was even earlier. That was back in
Okay.
February. So
Okay.
especially if students want more scholarships, they should be
Mm.
applying in November or October.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
And how much do you value extracurriculars and internships?
So at the moment, we don't put a lot of emphasis on it, but we've been told that it will now start to become important.
Okay.
But my advice is don't just do
Too many
everything. Don't,
things. Yes.
yes, please kind of have a
Like, don't be like
target.
master of none and jack of all trades. Whatever they do, they should do it with a lot of passion and in a lot of depth, basically.
You explained it perfectly. Exactly.
Yeah. No, no, that's the advice we also give our students that, don't try it because then they don't specialize in anything,
Yes.
in any one thing. So if you're like a drummer, then keep on, doing something on that regard. Or, if it's community service, then go and do more challenging projects. So, like, dive deep into that one area, basically.
You're giving them
Yes,
good
that's
advice.
about it. Anything else that you have to say or Essen you want to
Yeah,
add?
but finally, before closing or wrapping up this podcast, the final questions is about the long-term opportunities. Because if I see myself, if I'm applying to University of Arizona, coming from international background. So why University of Arizona? And what is the US in terms of PSW, post-graduation work visa, internship, or even immigration pathways for international students? How will they benefit if student has only University of Arizona in mind? So why US? Just one sentence or a brief paragraph before closing the podcast.
I mean, honestly, I think it has a lot to do with weather-wise.
Yeah.
If you're a student that wants cold weather, don't come to
Yeah.
Arizona. Um, but as a student, and this goes across all the US, they apply for OPT, and
All
so
right.
they can find jobs in the US. That's not going to be an issue. Obviously, you know that there's a difference between STEM programs and non-STEM, so they
Yeah.
do get to stay a little bit longer if they're doing STEM.
So is there option, I'm
And
sorry to cut you, like is there option of part-time working? For example, if a student has a classes in the evening and he wants to do something, in the morning, so what kind of, part-time work is available at university? How does your universities help them in, choosing their career or helping them placed in an institute?
Yeah, so all students have access to Handshake. That's our platform for
All
looking
right.
for
Yeah.
jobs on campus. And it's available for all students. They can only work a maximum of 20 hours a week. That's an
Oh,
immigration thing. We can't
uh,
change that.
yeah.
And they get paid a minimum wage
Hmm.
of Tucson, which I think is like 13 something an hour.
Yeah.
Um, they have access to, again, all of those jobs. They have to apply to it like any other job, though, having a resume and everything like that.
Great.
Mhm.
And Mr. Hamza, do you have something to say
So,
or your
yeah,
input will be here?
just to add the point, so students are allowed to work on campus 20 hours per week during their studies. So they're not allowed to work off campus,
Hmm.
as Jasmine said. It's a legal requirement. It's a student visa condition, so they're not allowed to work.
Hmm.
And for the STEM, they can live up to, which is post PSW in UK, it's OPT in US, and students can live up to 3 years after their graduation
Yeah.
if they are studying in the science, is in the STEM sector.
Yeah.
So these are the two things. And obviously, we do have a strong alumni network.
Yeah,
Jasmine is one of
and
those.
I think
So
alumni is the key before joining the
that
university.
definitely
Every
is,
student,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they go to the website and check their alumni network, and where their alumni has been placed is also very, very important because I myself did that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. So that definitely helps. We do have quite a big, strong chunk of alumni is working in the industry, and
Yes.
there are clubs where they do support students in whatever capacity possible
Hmm.
to interact with the academia, from academia to work, and help students land jobs. And obviously, with university, we try. And also, one factor that our associate dean is basically from Pakistan,
Oh,
originally
great.
from Pakistan. He's an HSN grad, and then he moved to the US back in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's been there for a good 2 decades. He often does visit Pakistan as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully in the coming months, once he's there, I'll definitely get you in touch with him as well, and
Definitely.
we
We
can
would love
probably
to
plan
meet him
something with
and
the student.
discuss. Yeah, we would love to
It
meet
will
him
be
and
nice
discuss.
to connect with him and maybe have him on our podcast as well if he has the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll definitely reach out to him, and then if possible, if he's here, I'll definitely connect you in person as well. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Perfect.
that would
Perfect.
help.
That would be remarkable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
So
so much. So
I
this
guess
has been
that
such a meaningful and informative conversation. A huge, huge thank you to you, Jasmine and Hamza, for taking out time from University of Arizona and joining us today, sharing not just the, practical advice, but, the genuine insight of what the international students can expect when landing into US. So to all our students tuning in, I hope you're walking away with not just answers, but also confidence and to ask questions, to explore your options, and to believe in yourself of the possibility in being accepted into that specific universities. So thanks for tuning into the college podcast. Until next time, stay inspired. Thank you so much.